Summer is a time for excitement, so go ahead and switch things up with a new recipe from HelloFresh. With pre-measured ingredients and easy-to-follow directions, it's never been easier to try something new. Get 14 free meals, including free shipping, with code FACE14 at hellofresh.com/FACE14. Hello and welcome to another episode of FcKFace. My name is Geoff Ramsey, and with me, as always, my constant companions, Gavin Free and Andrew Panton.
Hello!
And not to be forgotten, our sound engineer, Nick, and then Eric, the producer. Those guys, they're there too. They matter. So please don't forget them. Don't forget them in your prayers every night when you go to bed, and you pray for us.
And it's important. Nick, I feel like, is going to have a big role in this episode, to an extent. I mean, he automatically will because of one aspect, but we're going to have some clarifications.
I got a gut full of tots.
Do you? I guess we should explain that, right? Do we want to just immediately go into...
Yeah, I think we should. It's been the highlight of the week between recordings, for sure.
We had an argument. Like a weirdly... just more of a bizarre... I don't even know how to classify it.
I'll be honest. I'm blown away that Geoff is here today.
That is
after
true.
what happened in the Slack.
This is my job, and I take my job extremely seriously. I would argue I take my job more seriously than anybody who works in our company.
Yeah, I would agree.
So the idea that I would not show up to do my job is insulting.
Well, not insult in the context of you're under protest right now.
I'm protesting a specific bit on the show, but that doesn't preclude me from participating in the show. I won't be participating in that segment. I've registered an official complaint, and that's fine. I'm more than, but it's not my show. It's our show. I'm merely a wedge in the pie, as it were. So if you guys want to do that segment right now, I encourage you to do it, and I will cede the floor to you.
So you're selectively not showing up?
No, I'm here. I can't contribute to this segment, but I'll sit here. I'll listen.
What good are you if you're here, but you're not going to contribute to the show?
I'm contributing to the show. I can't contribute to this segment because I'm protesting it.
But it's part of the show.
It's so stupid.
I don't understand. I just don't understand the protest.
We got to get into it. Andrew, where did this begin?
Well, this began with you. It's sort of, as mentioned when you were telling your fly stories several episodes ago, you've been rewatching Breaking Bad.
I have.
And there is an intro, I believe, to one of the episodes where a character is eating a bunch of dipping sauces.
Yeah, you reveal the boss behind the main boss of the previous season is a company called Madrigal in Germany. And the episode opens with a guy tucking into some honey mustard. And I just took a picture of the screen and sent it to Andrew, and I just said, "Is this your favorite scene from Breaking Bad?" Because he's been on a honey mustard tear recently.
It's just come up naturally quite a bit. I don't feel like I'm on a tear. I don't feel like I've been excessive about it. There have been windows to talk about it, and it has come up. But it extended. So Gavin sent me that, and then I don't know how we got on the subject of it, but we're talking about like ideal dipping sauces, and if you were making a sauce, because they made a sauce called French for Breaking Bad. And so we're talking about like what would be your mix, and it just turned into a thing of, we should make sauces. We did a salad thing last week. We could do a condiment thing this week. It'd be kind of like a fun, dumb thing or whatever.
Yeah, so we got into a conversation of what's the best condiment. And then we got into this whole other thing of like, well, we need to know what's being used with the condiment, because like a burger sauce is different to like a nug dipping sauce. And I was talking about Tots at one point, and we eventually settled on we're going to be dipping Tots into this condiment.
Yeah, well, you wanted to make something specifically for Tots, so then I said I wanted to make something. I didn't want to make a completely different sauce item, so I figured I'd make that. We could both make our sauces, and because it was like a goofy, fun thing, we opened it up to everybody, and it was a mistake apparently.
Well, should we read through what the people's sources were?
We could do that, or do you want to first go through the protest and how we got to that point?
Well, I feel like if we read through all of the submitted sources, ending in Geoff's,
okay,
we'll reveal the protest.
Okay, that's fair.
Nick submitted base ketchup, about 2 ounces, 1 squirt Dijon mustard, 1 squirt mayo, 2 dashes of Louisiana hot sauce. I actually submitted mine first, so mine was just a very basic combination. I didn't really go too much into it. Mine was in ratios. Mine was 2/3 ketchup, 1/3 horseradish, and then a little splash of lemon.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew's was 2 teaspoons of hot sauce, 1 teaspoon barbecue sauce, 1 teaspoon honey mustard, 1 teaspoon ketchup, 1 teaspoon maple syrup, ½ teaspoon red chili flakes. And I should point out that he originally wrote 1/8 teaspoon of pineapple juice. And I was like, at that point, you're into drops. Right?
Just a teardrop of apple pineapple.
You might as well write 384ths of a cup of pineapple juice. Anyway, you upped it to a 1/2 teaspoon of pineapple juice.
I did.
Okay.
It was a process.
Then we get on to Geoff's submission.
Mm-hmm. Well, Geoff technically submitted 2, and I will say that there's some confusion mainly over his first submission.
Oh, okay. This is the one I've got in front of me.
Okay.
Sprinkle hot sauce with light dusting of chili powder.
You've already got it wrong. You said hot sauce. I said hot tots.
Sprinkle hot tots.
See, you can't even read, you idiot.
All right, let me read. I've got sauce on the brain. Okay. Sprinkle hot tots with a light dusting of chili powder. It won't take much. Then combine shredded pepper jack cheese with crisped up cube pancetta, hard sauteed diced onions, and some thin sliced chives, and coat the tots. Done.
That sounds delicious. My problem when I read that.
A wonderful side.
It's a great side item. I wasn't sure where the sauce was in that.
I didn't see the condiment in there. It was. I actually read them all out to Meg, and I read Geoff's, and she was like, "Come on, that's not what."
Wikipedia lists under condiments cheese. I then modified. Because you guys mentioned that it didn't sound like a condiment, I modified it. I replaced the shredded cheese with nacho cheese, which I would also point out is listed as an official condiment under the condiment section of Wikipedia. Yes. I would also like to read the definition of the fucking word condiment from Merriam-Webster. Definition of condiment, something used to enhance the flavor of a fucking food. Now, allow me to read the definition of condiment from dictionary.fucking.com. Something used to give a special flavor to food as mustard, ketchup, salt, or spices. Let me then read the definition of condiment from the Cambridge fucking dictionary, which lists it as a substance such as salt that you add to a food to improve its taste. Then let me read to you from Gordon Ramsay's Cumberland sauce recipe, which he lists as, maybe you've heard of Cumberland sauce. Gavin, you're British. I haven't. But he lists it as a popular holiday condiment that then includes vegetable oil, minced onions, currant jelly, 2 oranges, lemon, red wine, orange juice, lemon juice, black pepper, brown sugar, dry mustard, cayenne pepper, ground ginger, all reduced together. That seems pretty complicated and requires some cooking. Then let me read an article I read on thekitchen.com about how condiments aren't a one-size-fits-all item, and they went ahead and they interviewed some of the best chefs in the world. I'm going to pull from Barry DeCake, the chef at Scotch 8 Prime in the Palms Resort Casino, who says, "I truly feel condiments are more than just the average ketchup, mustard, relish, and mayo. As a chef, I like being creative and making different sauces for topping sandwiches, flavored aiolis, house-made steak sauces, pickled shallot relishes, creamy mustards, and new spins on ketchup like Scotch-infused. I also love creamy avocado dressing and seasoned hummus. Make it smooth, make it chunky. You're the chef. The sky is the limit with condiments. I thought I was the chef, but I guess I'm fucking not."
I just like that your instructions start with put powder on the tots.
Yeah. It's a weird combination. So I think you have some points, Geoff. I think you just worded your initial recipe terribly. It was confusing to read. I wasn't sure where the sauce was. This also just reads like a side. Like diced onion, like I didn't understand if you were reducing it or if you were putting this on as a topping was sort of my initial reaction to it. I think this sounds delicious. It sounds very gourmet.
Good too. We just took an issue with the format, and it resulted in Geoff storming out of the Face Slack channel. We were hitting him pretty hard on the way out. At one point, I said, I would like to change my condiment. My second condiment is an Eggs Benedict. And then he left.
I think what you submitted, Geoff, would be a side version of the tater tots dish. Like you have your base tater tots and then you pay $1.50 and it comes with what you've added to it. I don't think this is a base condiment. Even if you, let's say, argued that it is, I don't think it's within the spirit of what we all submitted. I think you went very gourmet.
I took a picture of all 3 sauces and they would all fit in a little plastic, like your McDonald's sauces that you've got. They would all fit in there. I just don't know how you...
So the people at home know Geoff is disconnected. He just quit. He just quit.
I'm baffled by this because I was going to eventually get to a point where I think Geoff was in the right to an extent. I think his first recipe is absurd, but I think once he clarified it's a cheese sauce, I think that's a fair submission.
He's gone offline.
Just not really within the spirit.
I think he's off the grid now. I think this was the thing that drove him to go live in the woods. This is it. We did it. I think we pushed him over the edge and we didn't even know we were doing it. You have to text him. You guys somebody has to text him. Look, we have to. All these sauces were made. Sauces that seemed good.
I made 3 sauces. I'm excited to try them. I got my tater tots.
Have you got it already? You got to try it live. I've pre-tried mine, and I already have my verdict. But I feel like Geoff's wouldn't fit in a little plastic pot.
Well, yeah, that's mostly because it wasn't a sauce.
Yeah,
so.
it's not. The tots are in there.
Even if it did, storing a cheese sauce in a container seems complicated. I'm not sure the logistics of it not just hardening. I don't know how you do that unless you completely manipulate the sauce to the point where it's no longer cheese.
So do you want to try them live now on the episode?
Yeah, I figured that's what we do. I haven't tried. I'm interested to hear your process with this.
Should we get Geoff back?
He just texted me and he said my Discord died. And I said, "Do you have internet?"
I mean, he did go offline. I feel like the comic value comes from just leaving the call. If he actually got kicked out of the recording at that time, it's absolutely perfect.
It is a hell of a coincidence.
I did not expect this episode to go like this.
No.
He can't get in. He sent me a movie of just Discord spinning and saying checking for updates.
Should we do a 10 count that Geoff agrees with us unless he can get it here in 10 seconds, like a wrestling thing? He's out of the ring right now. Yeah, 10 seconds.
He is out
back
of the ring.
At this point.
He's
back.
Oh, he's back.
All right, I'm back. Sorry.
Welcome back, Geoff.
I lost my internet.
How much money would it cost to make yours, Geoff?
That's a great question.
I feel like it's $15 worth of ingredients.
I didn't realize there was a price limit on how much it cost.
How
much did it?
I will say I'm on Geoff's side. I'm on Geoff's side with that question. That doesn't have anything to do with a recipe.
I mean, if you had to buy all of the ingredients, if you had to buy all of the ingredients that Andrew just listed, it would cost more than nacho cheese and pancetta. I guarantee you that. He had 9 fucking ingredients. By the way, have you guys ever read the ingredients? You were acting like it was overcomplicated. Have you ever read the ingredients of fucking ketchup? There's 11 ingredients in ketchup alone, you idiots.
There's a lot. So first of all, I was confused by it. I never said it was bad. I've gone as far. I've said multiple times, what you submitted sounds delicious. I just wasn't sure if it was in the spirit of what was said. I also just didn't understand the first part where I will apologize to you. I missed the nacho cheese sauce comment. I was just baffled by the complexity of the sauce. But I made a thing yesterday, because sauce is confusing. I made a sauceogram. I know we could have a conversation about how we feel about this. Cheese sauce, I think, fits in the criteria of dipping sauce. It was complicated. So you have different tiers of sauce. You have your dressings, you have your sauce, and you have your dipping sauce. I think cheese sauce falls under the category of a mix between a sauce and a dipping sauce. I think your recipe is valid. I was just confused by the presentation. It was a strange interaction, I'd say.
Hey, Geoff, when you said sprinkle cheese on the tater tots, did you think this is where it was going to go?
No, I was trying to make a delicious sauce that maybe I was trying to think outside the box and do a cheese-based sauce. I thought that would be interesting. A lot of people, when they eat tater tots, they like to have like cheddar cheese and bacon and all that stuff on it. And I thought, why not do the plussed up version of bacon and cut up tiny little chunks of pancetta, crisp them up, and then mix them in with the cheese with a little chili flavoring and some minced onions that are also sautéed, much like a chutney, which is considered a condiment. It's an official condiment. It's a chunky chutney of cheese is what I had created that I thought was very in the spirit of, it's certainly in the dictionary definition of condiment. And at one point, Andrew even said, I think it sounds delicious, but what you've described is not a condiment, it's a sauce. So then I had to explain to him. So he obviously understood it as a sauce. So then I had to prove to him that a sauce is a condiment. And that's when he realized he had no leg to stand on.
Well, it's just, I just don't feel like it fit the spirit of what we were doing.
I didn't realize that the spirit of what we were doing was to combine the hard work of the Heinz Corporation with the hard work of the French's Corporation and then call it our thing. I tried to actually create with real ingredients a condiment. I didn't try to combine two fucking things that have logos on them that were already made in a lab by scientists into one other thing and then go, look, I invented some bullshit.
To be fair, and you don't have context for this, this was all started because of French, which is literally just French dressing.
Yeah, the original question was which condiments would you mix together to make the ultimate condiment?
Yeah,
that's not what was presented to me.
I think we left that bit out of the important intro.
I think we did. I think that was the context that was maybe lacking. We were all thinking within that framework, and you came in with something very gourmet. I still don't think it's a sauce. I think it's a side. It's a side dish that you made. It's like, is coleslaw a salad? I think technically is a salad, but you don't view it as a salad, but it is technically a salad. I think it's the same type of thing. You're technically correct, but I just
technically correct is the only correct. I'm correct in the only sense. I will say that if you came to me and you said, and I came to you and I said, I would like you to design what you think is the best salad. And then you came back to me with coleslaw and said, it's a salad. And I said, you are correct. It is a salad. And if that's what you think is the best salad, then that meets the letter of the terms of the competition that we had.
How are we going back to Andrew making salads?
I don't. Well, it's the coleslaw comparison.
Yeah.
I will say, like, where I screwed up, Geoff, is I missed the nacho cheese line on your second recipe submission. Your first one.
The second recipe. Where was that?
That was in our text chain.
Right there in the middle.
Yeah.
I don't have that text. I don't think that came through on my. I don't know. I never know what we're talking about on our text.
That text didn't appear.
Anyway, I surmise that you guys have created each other's sauces and are now going to test them to determine which is the best one. I think that's a great bit for this show. We are hammering the food stuff really hard. The audience is loving it. I'm loving it. So without further ado, I think you guys should dive right in. Let's get saucy. Let's get condimental. You guys did all the hard work of buying two things and then mixing them together with a spoon. I don't want the audience to miss out on that joy. Let's find out.
No, the fucking thrill of combining a salad out of a mixer. That was exciting. That's as exciting as mixing sauces. It's the same. I don't understand how this is different than the salad thing. I will say I tried my sauce. It's not very good. I wouldn't put my sauce very high.
All right, are you eating this?
I'm eating the sauces right now. I'm trying them.
I'm sorry, it's all this, and the first thing you do after you eat your sauce is you just go, yeah, mine sucked.
Yeah, it's not very good.
I mean, I passed the torch to you guys to let you run with it, and that's what you did. You immediately shit on your sauce. I don't know what to do for you guys.
Nick's sauce is delicious. I like Nick's sauce quite a bit. Nick, you made a great sauce.
Okay, so you've tried yours and you've tried Nick's.
I've tried Nick's and, mine. I tried yours, Gavin. I don't know about yours, Gavin. I'm a little nervous.
I made a discovery with mine.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. This sucks. This is way worse. Your sauce is terrible. Oh my God.
So I accidentally made like prawn cocktail sauce. I made like shrimp cocktail dipping sauce. It's exactly the same. I didn't realize what I was making. It sounded good in my head. And then I was like, oh, this isn't I'm not holding a shrimp. I've got a tot and it's weird. Nick's was, in my opinion, phenomenal.
Nick's was great.
It was like a professional sauce. Yours, Andrew, was... I rated yours even below mine.
I would not put mine below yours. I would say yours, this is the difference between our sauces. They're both bad. There's a version of my sauce that's good. It's just not what it is. There's a combination there that you could find. I think there's a balance where that could be a decent sauce. Yours is what it is. I don't think there's any balancing of like the ingredients you have that would adjust beyond the sauce that it is.
Yours, I think the syrup is wrecking yours, in my opinion.
It could. I didn't know how to, like, I was trying it. That was the journey of like not knowing how to make sauce, just being an idiot and just being like, I don't like how this tastes. What can I do to balance this in a different way? And just constantly adding more stuff.
For me, yours had it had a consistency issue too. It was a bit more watery.
Liquidy. Yeah, is definitely the most liquidy of them all. Nick definitely made the best sauce, which I think should be expected.
Can I ask a hypothetical?
Of course.
Hypothetically, removing Nick's sauce from the situation, just using the three hosts as their sauces. Mm-hmm. If you were to also make Geoff's sauce, where do you think it would have ranked compared to your two sauces?
Probably at the top.
Number one, yeah. I'd say that Geoff's would be the best thing. It just, by far.
Well,
I never said it wasn't delicious.
We'll never know.
I could still make yours, Geoff? As a side.
No, I was boycotting the contest. I wasn't given the other sauces to make, so I wasn't going to make just mine.
Well, I was just wondering if you'd like pre-tested it. If you made
no, I invented it on the spot. I'd never considered putting those ingredients together before. It was created for the moment.
I'm gonna try to make Geoff's sauce.
This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Life is full of stressors, and it doesn't matter who you are or what you have. It's probably stressful. For instance, you might be a twice divorced father of a 15-year-old daughter trying to survive a pandemic. That might be stressful in some way or other, potentially. You might not even be feeling like overly down and out or depressed right now, or even like you're at a total loss. But if you find that your stress is high, maybe your temper is a little shorter than usual, or even like maybe you're starting to feel strain in any of your relationships, you could probably use the chance to unload. Unload the stress, get it out, talk to someone who's completely unbiased about your life, somebody who isn't going to judge you or take sides on anything. When there are things you can't tell anyone or feel like you can't unload to family and friends, but you do need to unload it, that's what therapy's for. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. So unload the stressors and get some unbiased feedback. You'd be pretty surprised at what you might gain from it. See if it's for you. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and FcKFace listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/face. That's BetterHelp.com/face. Camp is in session. This episode of FcKFace is brought to you by Camp Betrayal, a new horror comedy themed reality competition for Rooster Teeth First. In Camp Betrayal, 12 contestants pulled from around the Rooster Teeth family compete for their lives by completing challenges for their evil host, the Babador. And now I'm doing an ad read here, but I get to do dual duty because I'm also in this show. I'm the one that hires the Babador and brings the 12 contestants together in the first place. But let me continue. In each episode, contestants are randomly chosen to lie, backstab, and sabotage the team's chance at success. But can they keep their role a secret? And can they survive elimination? Find out who's a team player and who's a betrayer every Tuesday on Rooster Teeth. Episode 1 is available for free right now. That's Camp Betrayal every Tuesday on Rooster Teeth. I'm in it.
All right, so should we do the intro and get going?
Yeah, let's start the episode.
All right.
What about outside of sauce, Geoff? Geoff and I felt like Geoff and I had a really good friendship weekend.
Did we?
I did. I felt that way. I felt we were, Geoff was away.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I have been so blinded by condiment rage and indignation, I forgot. We had a lovely...
We had a great friendship weekend.
We had a lovely correspondence this weekend. You are 100% right, and I apologize.
We hockey. We gambled. We watched sports. It was fun. We hadn't watched like a basketball game together in a while. That was great. Jeff,
were you like on the phone with each other or just texting?
Yeah, we're like texting back and forth. Yeah, Jeff like had a whole betting sheet, and I copied his bets. We were in it together. It was fun.
You know, I don't gamble, and I certainly don't drink anymore, but I do love Las Vegas for the shows and for the spectacle, and I do like to bet on sports. My girlfriend likes to bet on sports. And so this weekend we went to Vegas. I did a bunch of stuff. I got to go to a Tom Segura comedy show. I got to go to the new Meow Wolf, but the big thing for me was sitting in the sports book and betting on the hockey game. And, oh boy, did I lose money on the hockey game! And betting on the EC or the WCF, and which I won a bunch of money on, and then betting on horses. I had a run. I correctly bet the winner 4 out of 5 horse races.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I was on fire.
I will say that the hockey bet was great because Jeff just sent me what his bet was, and he's like, "How you feel about this?" And I was like, "I love this bet. This is a great bet."
Andrew goes, "I feel great about this bet." And that's what I do. I was fucked.
I accidentally put Jeff in a terrible position. Or no, I did with basketball. On both days I did. I fucked you on both days. I apologize. But
okay.
I was like, this is a great bet. I love it. Montreal at home. I feel like they're not going to get swept. And I was right. They would win one home game, but it was just the wrong one. Within like 10 seconds of the game, they score a goal. Tampa scores on Montreal. Jeff's immediately down. I felt bad. I think by they scored 2 goals within like the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, and Andrew's going, it's okay, 2-0 is the worst lead to have. They're bound to come back now.
It's like a cliche in hockey that statistically isn't at all true, but it's like, 2-0, most dangerous lead, and then they would score another and be like, oh, now they're really in trouble. 3-0? You don't want that. It's a terrible lead.
It was brutal.
There's hope. There's hope for a little bit, and it quickly faded, but then it bounced back. I don't know, like when the horse racing run kicked off. I don't know when you got hot, but basketball.
It was the next day. Yeah.
Okay. Did you have a scheme for horse? Like, what was your strategy for horse racing?
Listen, a successful horseman is only as successful as the secrets he keeps. I can't.
You mean
list
a jockey?
Out all.
What's a horseman?
A horseman is a man who bets on the horses. Okay. And if I let my tactics get out, then everybody's going to use them. Then the whole horse industry might change. So I got to keep some stuff a little close to the vest.
Fair enough. We then I put Jeff in a real dilemma, Gavin, when we bet basketball, because I am an amazing loser. I am fantastic at losing sports bets. And
do you expect to lose?
Yeah, I do. I go in, when I make a bet on a sporting event, it's not about making money. It's about the pain of later. Like, it's the hope and pain. I'm really paying for the experience of disappointment, mainly. And so Jeff sent me this list of like 9 or 10 bets that he made. And my first comment was, there's no way these all lose, which is a horrible jinx. But it's just how I felt at the time. Then I even screwed him further, though, because I was going to match his bets and take all of his bets. And I said, if you want, I can fade you because I always lose. So if I bet the opposite of you, that might increase your odds of winning. But at this point, I've jinxed you, so I don't know what's worse. Jeff just chose the great option of he wants us all to sink. If we're sinking, so I matched his bets.
Yep.
And it was positive. We won more than we lost on those bets.
Yeah, you know what they say? A sinking tide lowers all ships. That's how I feel. But it's not about winning, It was, no. These are $10, $5 bets. It's not like it's real money.
Oh, mine was 10 cents per NBA bet, but I was okay.
I think mine were $5 bets. But it's more just like the fun of doing it, and just like, and honestly, half of the reason why I like to do it is to sit in that like sports room with all the TVs and just watch the fucking weirdos that come in and bet. Like it's great. It's like a bus station in there, just the people that meander through. It's interesting cross section of humanity.
So I've never bet on horses, but I feel like my horse betting philosophy would be the same as my child picking philosophy. For the
you said your child kicking philosophy?
Child picking, not child kick. I've never kicked the child.
You said child
I've
kicking.
Never kicked the child. I never would. But my child.
Did you hear
picking,
that? Man, that was close to an admission.
No, it wasn't even close. I said picking. It was very clear. You can hear on my audio. distinctly clear. Child picking. Today is one of my favorite days of the year. It is like a holiday to me.
This is the day you pick
so
children?
Excited.
This is child picking day?
Yesterday was child picking day, Geoff. This is the event for the child picking. Today is Scripps National Spelling Bee. What a time. What an exciting process. I watch it every year. It's how my fantasy football league determines our draft order. So everybody picks a kid. There was a whole process. I didn't get my number 1 on the board. I was outraged about it. I was very pissed. I got my number 2, though. So I believe I got some hope. But tonight is the spelling bee. And so the order in which the kids are eliminated determine the picking order for our league. So tonight I'll be in a group chat with 11 other people who are all in their 30s, adults, being irrationally furious at kid spelling. Cannot wait. It's one of my favorite days of the year.
Kids?
The oldest you can be for Scripps National Spelling Bee is 14 years old. Most of them are like 12. So it's like all these adults just angrily watching 12-year-olds try to spell. Is sort of
where are you in the kicking order?
What do you mean in the kicking order?
The picking order.
Picking order?
Geoff left again.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
I picked a child named Vincia. Wasn't who I wanted. What I was getting to at the point, I feel like I really wanted, I forget his name. There was one child who was sponsored by the Carolina Panthers, which I've never seen before. There's always like another spelling bee or a newspaper. There was one guy that's just like, no, Carolina Panthers. And since we're doing a fantasy football thing, it's like, this is destiny. Got to go with that.
Can we sponsor a
That's such a great idea. I don't know how that works. I'd love to. That'd be great.
We must be able to try and do that.
I'll have to look into this, but I love that.
If we save up our weekly episode budget, like pocket money, by next year we might have enough.
I feel like we are the coins that fall in the couch of like the overall, that's the budget. Like whatever coins happen to fall through.
Whatever, assuming the person that we pick doesn't win, whatever word they misspell to get out on, we should just make that a shirt.
Oh, absolutely.
A misspelled shirt. That's how we recoup our investment.
Well, I'd recoup it just personally on joy. I guess it's not my investment, but
the word is condiment.
The word is honey mustard.
That's 2 words.
That is true. That was a bad example. It's a terrible example, but it's great. I would recommend you both watch the Scripps National Spelling Bee tonight.
How on earth do I watch that?
It's on ESPN.
I got like buy television to see that?
I guess, yeah. Do you have no television watching options?
No.
Oh, okay, well then I guess I don't know how you'd watch it, but
maybe if you watch it, you could just.
I'll live text you.
Yeah.
I'll keep you updated on how Vinch is doing. That's my evening. How about you guys?
What am I gonna do tonight?
Yeah, like what? Well, just what's happening.
Well,
you
I'm
seem
gonna go
very
host.
defeated today, Geoff.
Well, listen, it's been a week and it's been a day. Tonight I'm gonna go host first night for RTX.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
that's exciting.
Soon as I'm done here, I'm gonna go do that. So, yay!
That's great.
What about you, Gavin?
I'm playing board games.
Yay!
What board games are you playing?
Bye.
What?
This episode is just so weird.
Andrew asked
weird.
what board games are you playing, and you just said
yeah,
bye?
you just said bye.
Playing Pandemic.
Okay.
I've never played that game.
I haven't either.
Have you played it before?
Yeah, I've started a legacy. We're like 2 rounds in.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it's a co-op game. It's like teamwork. It's good. It's good so far.
Are you a board game guy?
I'm becoming a board game guy. I feel like I've only recently discovered that board games can be like video games in the way that they're interesting. Because I think of board games, I just think of like Monopoly and Mousetrap and shit. And it's just like, ugh.
Yeah, no, they're better than
There's
that.
some good stuff out there. There's some stuff that takes like 12 hours to finish and stuff over like multiple segments. I'm getting into it.
Are you shitting on Clue? Clue is a great board game.
You're
I feel
a fool.
like Monopolies. You don't think Clue's a great board game? It's a murder mystery.
I hate that game.
What do you hate about Clue? Oh, you get a notepad, you can ask questions. It's great.
Clue is never as fun as it promises to be. It's frustrating. I want Clue to be better every time I play it.
It's a game where the box looks more interesting than the game.
Yeah.
Okay. I had a pretty cool Clue box. It was made out of wood. So I don't know if that's a fair comparison. It was a pretty sweet box. It'd be tough for any game to live up to the design of the box I had for Clue.
Geoff, do you remember the English name for Clue?
Cluedo.
Action Man.
Cluedo. And listen, by the way, I'm not talking shit about Clue, but I am acknowledging the limitations of Clue. I'm a fan of Clue. I consider myself a Clueniac, as we call ourselves. I even, I've been trying to get a Clue tentpole show like Hardcore Monopoly, Hardcore Clue made at Rooster Teeth for years. But I have to agree with Gavin that it under-delivers when you sit down to play it.
You know what I think it is I haven't ventured into like the actual complex adult board games. Like the more the pandemics of the world, I haven't played that. I'm really like restricted to Monopoly, the classic favorites. So like my comparables is like Candyland is bullshit, but my peak is something like Clue. So I just think I have a narrow range.
Sounds like we need to get you involved. We need to have a board game night when we go up to Canada. Maybe that'll be the reward if we can find your front door.
Man, the list of shit we've got to do when we arrive in Canada is getting really long.
Yeah, we're gonna be very busy. Maybe while like the Bondo is drying in our bathtub boat, we can hammer out a game of Clue.
Is that on again this year?
It already happened.
Oh, it happened?
I think it was last month.
It happens in July typically, but it would be weird if everything has been shut down here, so I'd be surprised.
Maybe next year. Maybe 2022 is our bath year.
It's going to have to be next year because I feel like the audience alerted me to the fact that it happened already.
Famous Nanaimo bathtub race canceled on June 5th, 2021. So
did they also cancel the cheese rolling? Didn't you like pick the cheese or something?
I did. Yes, there was a whole cheese thing. That was season 1. That was a long time ago. That never happened, sadly.
I think we should go to that at some point. We should go to cheese rolling.
Could we sponsor a cheese? Could that be like the later thing? Is this evolution of FcKFace? We just start sponsoring things?
Just see the FcKFace logo tumbling down a hill.
Yeah. I think we got to slowly build to like an actual fast sport. Like we're going to start with the cheese and then we're going to go to the bathtub race and then maybe eventually, I don't know, a car sponsor.
And then we've got the FcKFace sponsored kid. I think we should just sponsor the weirdest stuff.
I would love that. There's nothing I love more than like getting into a thing that I know nothing about, especially if I can gamble on it.
Like Russian handball?
Yeah, like handball was like such a fun 2 weeks of like getting in. I've never watched it again. I followed the Brazilian goalie on Twitter because their performance was amazing, ridiculously talented. I'll never think about handball again, but yeah. If we could get into weird sports, I'm all about it.
I got a question for you guys.
Okay.
As of today, I now have 100 full-size baseball bats, 900 bat knobs on my kitchen table for some reason, and 1,000 little metal tags.
Wait,
you got 900?
You have 900
and I ask you guys, what the fuck am I supposed to do with all this stuff? I genuinely don't remember.
Where did the 900 knobs come from?
I don't know why the knobs ended up at my house. I was thinking about that yesterday when I was dragging them in from the front porch because I don't know that I was ever supposed to do anything with them.
If you've already got knobs, why are you cutting up bats?
Well, I think the point, and I'm trying to remember, but I think the point was that 100 of the knobs would be made with love from me, right? Like kind of like how I burned 50 bats, but not the other 250 or whatever. So this would be that version of that. And then, if I remember correctly, there was the idea that we would metal tag the end of the knob that I cut with the end of the bat so that they could be synced up again someday. Am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah.
Well, I remember that part, but I don't remember there being a bunch of other knobs. I thought the whole point of knobs was that they couldn't get made right and you were going to make them.
Well, then they found that they could make the knobs. They found a knob vendor, but then they were like, "We already ordered the bats, and you can still do the thing where you cut the bats in half, and that's fine."
Okay, so you might get a Geoff cut knob.
You're gonna tell because the knobs are very fucking different. First of all, but secondly, I thought the idea was that then I would take these tags and I would put like tag number 1 on this knob, tag number 1 on this bat end, and then you could put 1 and 1 together and be like, oh, we found our match or whatever, even though we don't necessarily know what we're going to do with the other half of the bats yet. But I got 1,000 metal tags, and I don't have numbered 1 through 1,000. So there's no way for me to sync up. I don't have 2 of the same tag. And I certainly wasn't planning on just putting a metal tag on every knob. of the other 900 knobs. So I think what I need is 1 to 100 and then 1 to 100 again in tags. I don't think I need 200 to 1,000. I think those are useless. But they exist, and I'm just fucking confused. So I think I have some of what I need and way too much of other stuff, but none of it is getting this shit out of my house. So I'm awash in bats and wood, and I'm befuddled as to what to do about it.
Why don't you just put the metal tags on all the knobs, 1 to 1,000, and then...
Well, if I had made the metal tags, I would have made them to fit the knobs.
Do they not fit?
Not as such.
You could always get the ones that are from the bats that you cut, and then just Sharpie number the bats as you go. So like metal tag match with Sharpie.
Yeah, or I could make them make another round of metal tags, 1 to 100. I don't know. All of this is to say that, like, I don't want it in my house. My girlfriend's very kind. Sorry, I kicked half my desk over. My girlfriend's very kind, but I'm pretty sure she doesn't want it. I mean, it's taken up half of my library and my entire kitchen table. And I didn't even have the tools required to I just don't know what to do. I'm frozen. I'm frozen with bat indecision.
I feel like, much like my sauce, they didn't even know what to do. There's like 7 different bat ideas that we've suggested, and they've all you've gotten all of them, but like part of each one. Like it's just a mix of things.
Yeah, I don't think I have a complete set of anything. Yeah.
No.
All right. Well, I'm just going to ignore it for a little bit longer then, I guess.
Do you have no plan? You're just going to... It's a future Geoff problem?
I mean, today Geoff isn't going to fix it. Today Geoff has to go do... the current Geoff has to deal with RTX all week and all weekend. So I'm certainly not going to touch it now. So I can't even think about it till after RTX is over. So it's a problem for 10 days from now, Geoff, I guess.
Do you have a garage?
No.
Oh.
I have a little house in the back that's tiny where I put my bikes and my lawnmower, but it's not suitable for this.
Not good bat storage.
No, it's not good bat storage. I wouldn't want to put them there. It's not climate controlled or anything. I wouldn't want the bats to swell with humidity or anything.
What if we kept sending you bats?
What's up?
What if we just kept sending you bats? What if bats just kept appearing?
I hope they don't. I'd like to remove. Well, I'll be honest with you. I'd like to get rid of all of the bats I have right now. I didn't want to remove some. I'd like to remove all of the bats.
You take the bats and you construct a Game of Thrones-esque seat out of them with all the spare parts that you saw off.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
The bat throne.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take all those parts and I'm going to dump them off in your front yard, and I'm going to let you make it. Your idea, you can do it.
Oh, shit. Well, how would I even do that? Nails?
I don't know. Same way I would probably do it.
You got a bunch of those already. They come with the set. Got all the nails you need, apparently.
No, there's no nails. That's this thing too. That I thought the tags were gonna be like that I could like tack on with a little, but they're not. They're like adhesive in some way, and they come with a roller where you have to like press roll it on, which is fine if it's a flat surface. But these are all beveled.
I feel like
knobs.
Someone just listened to our conversations and then just started buying stuff.
Listen to, and then listen, I realize that in most cases, also I'll go so far as to say that in every instance of my life, I've been at fault. So it's probably my fault in some way, but I'll be damned if I know how to unfuck it right now. So yeah, we'll deal with it. Future Geoff will deal with it, I guess. But if anybody has any ideas, send them my way. Don't send them to the FcKFace Slack. I'm no longer able to receive messages on that, but you both have my phone, I believe, still. So it's not. I don't know if you can reach me on social media. I'm not sure we're following each other anymore, but you definitely have my phone number, so you can text me.
I really like the tags not being nailable. I feel like that was such a key part of that conversation. I was really imagining like almost railroad spikes, but like a marker that you would, okay.
Yeah. Or like if you've ever seen a tiny little tack, but yeah, it's frustrating. That being said, I'm sure when it's all said and done, I'm sure it'll be a hilarious product that the comment leavers will find hilarious. Hopefully,
they've been the comment leavers have been sending in their diagrams of the room.
They have. Some of them have been shockingly good.
We've already dealt with that recording-wise, but they're pretty accurate, some of them.
I saw one that was more accurate than mine. It was like perfect in every way, which was phenomenal.
I mean, you guys get extra points, like you were attempting to place things like the sushi container and all that. I think there's one I saw where it like nailed the rooms and everything, but they didn't really predict. The sushi container seems to be the thing that throws people. They do not know where to place that in the overall room.
Where was that?
That was in front of the fridge. That was next to the fridge, and people are putting it on the other side.
Oh, I think that's where I put it, isn't it?
I think you did. I think you were in the group that put it on the other side. I did trying to go to my bathroom. Nick just said, didn't you trip on one in the bathroom? No, it wasn't in the bathroom. It was on the way. I was going to the bathroom. I just got AirPods. I was very excited. It was late at night, and I stepped on a plastic container. Took fall. Hard fall. Maybe the hardest fall of my life. I'm impressed that it was a great landing. It was like a stuntman landing, square on the shoulders. Could not figure out why my back was sore, though, the next day. But I had a point. I don't know what my point was. I've lost. I was talking about sushi containers.
How close are we to a marathon at this point?
Oh, not close. Not close. We keep re-aggravating. Keep getting injuries. That's what I was gonna say. People are commenting on like, where's the shimmy of the thing? And I forgot about. I had the filing cabinet in front of the bed, and I had a TV on the other side of it. So I had to. I can't believe I did that for so long.
You had the filing cabinet, the one that's next to the dresser?
I had that in front of the bed because that was one of the key components of the fort I made, the blanket fort.
What do you mean in front of the... Like, so when you were in bed, you looked at your feet and there was like the back of a filing cabinet there?
Yep, exactly. That's exactly what it was, because that was the pillar. That was a pillar for the fort. Remember when we were first in this setup, I had to set up like a blanket fort whenever we
So where was the shimmy? Between the filing cabinet and the desk?
No, it was to the wall. So I put I have a 50-inch TV I'm no longer using. That's like an old and it's bulky, but I was playing PS2 and it was the only thing that it would work with. So I pulled it out and I just put it on the floor across from, there's a little wall between the closet and the bathroom, and it was there, but it was lined up with the filing cabinet. So I had to shimmy past that, whatever I needed to go by. It was annoying, but I forgot all about it. It is. Well, yeah, it's just, people like listening to previous episodes and bringing up that I talked about shimmying.
Do you have anything else in your life right now that's like, is really inconvenient? You just need to deal with it and it will take like 10 seconds and save you hours and hours of annoyance?
Ooh, that's a good, not really, but those things for me, typically, I just don't deal with and it just creates more anxiety, even though I know it's not a problem. It's like, oh, I could just quickly do this, but then I don't, because it just seems like a minor thing, and then it just builds. It takes me forever to resolve this.
I have something that would take 10 seconds to clean up, but I've just been staring at it for about a year, and I refuse to deal with it at this point. And it isn't inconvenient. It's just very annoying to look at. I put up a shelf about a year ago, and I'd like drilled in the wall, and it made like wall dust fall down and land on the skirting board, and it's just still there. And I could easily just go and grab the vacuum right now and suck it up.
Why don't you do it right now while we're in the podcast? I'm encouraging you to do it. I want to hear it.
Could this be the time?
We're gonna make your life better right now through the power of face.
The thing is, I feel like I only ever see it while I'm like walking from one thing to another. Like I'm going to go and get something or I'm going out and I'm just like, that thing again, I keep walking by it. Yeah, I could just do it now, couldn't I?
It's top of mind right now. By the power of face, I compel you to clean this mess.
All right.
Are we going to be able to go with them? Are we just here? Is it just us?
I think it's just you and I, but let's see if we can, let's see if we can hear him in the background while he's doing it. What else is going on in your world, Andrew? Have you anything you need to clean right now?
I have a thing I want to talk about, but it is sort of extensive. I don't know if we have time within this episode.
So I still have a thing.
That's a lot of sawdust. That's taking a lot of sawdust. He made it sound like it was just like you'd run your finger over it would be gone.
Yeah.
That was a long vacuum.
All right, we're good.
It's all right. How does that feel?
Oh, that feels good. That feels good.
Does it?
I'm glad you compelled me to do that in the middle of a recording.
You're going to walk, the next time you're going to forget about this very quickly. And then the next time you walk through, you're going to look over there and it's going to be gone. And your heart's going to smile a tiny little bit. Yep.
I'll be taking the bins out. I'll be walking by and just be like,
yeah. Your life just got better, man.
Do you have anything that you're putting off like that? Something really easy to fix, but it's just so far down on priority, you'll realistically never get to it.
I feel like you have something for me. Are you aware of something that I have that I'm ignoring, or
no? I don't think this is a paranoia thing, Geoff. I think he's just asking.
Oh,
do you think I've laid some inconvenience in your house?
I don't know. Yeah, well, I wouldn't put it past you, but
come on.
Well, I don't. I just, I don't trust any of you at all anymore.
I had a great prank to do against you, Geoff, but I just don't think I could put it together. But I think you'd even like it. I almost texted Gavin it today.
Yeah, it's fine. Do whatever. I don't care. Just prank away.
Well, no, it's just, I think, did you know that you could,
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. It's going to be a hilarious prank.
No, I don't think it'll ever actually happen. It's too elaborate, but it's just, it's an amusing idea. I didn't know this. Did you know that you could get games graded, like a card? Like there's a company that you could send. I didn't realize that. So I was thinking about what is the range in which you could get things graded? I was wondering, could I get my BTS sauces graded? Could I find a place that would could I get 10 mint? Yeah, they're sealed. I want to try to get a 10 mint BTS of each one. And then I thought, well, what if Geoff went away and we just we graded every item in his house. Like you come back in and everything's just surrounded in a hard plastic shell with different. This is a 9.7.
The fridge is going to get an F.
The fridge is definitely going to score low.
That fucking fridge. Dude, my life is...
Still having fridge problems?
Have you got fridge news?
No. Well, no. I mean, it's the same as always. It's just...
Dark fridge.
It's expensive. I don't have the money to fix it right now, or it's not that I don't have. I just don't want to spend the money to replace it, and it's so expensive, and I just and I'm so mired in other shit. It's just what's the point? Here's how it works, right? So, maybe we should just talk about my shitty story next episode, because we're supposed to wrap up, right?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we're close to an hour. We can wrap up.
Yep. Eric says we should wrap.
Are we doing two today?
We're doing 2.
I think we're doing 2, yeah.
Oh my God.
I got stuff for 2.
I got a lot of stuff. I didn't get to any of my stuff for this episode, so
it was a weird.
My whole goal in this episode was to not talk about the condiment stuff and to not let you guys get. I went in with the goal of not yelling once, and you guys and I failed yet again. As I fail at everything in my life, I failed. Why should today have been any different? Thank you for listening to another episode of FcKFace, the podcast where we highlight the misery and failures of one Jeffrey Ramsey, while the much better and much more talented and much more likable Gavin Free and Andrew Panton dance through and on the misery that is me. Hope you liked it. If you liked it, maybe write a review or star it up or whatever. If you didn't like it, that makes sense because I'm in it. Thanks a lot. See you next week.